Obviously, we're talking about change. And transformative change. And how do you get them when you're involved with a community that needs to change? People are resistant to doing it because change equals fear, or change equals pain, or change does equal uncertainty. We don't know where we're going to go. How do you deal with that as an individual? How do you have individuation of your developments and risking being alone?
What would be the answer there? I mean, sort of some naive answer is to say, well, there must be a middle ground, not too hot, not too cold, like Goldilocks or something. But I don't know that, and I'm finding it a very interesting question.
Dealing with kids has definitely helped a lot of dealing with open source. There are definitely a lot of personalities and trying to figure out how to motivate people that are new to something. For example, that's what sort of with dealing with kids, and there are some aspects of that, and just some of the squabbles that come out. I mean, any project of any size is going to have some personality conflicts, but I've not learned a lot from open source I think would help me and my family, that I can think of at least.
Can I explain what open source is to a 6-year-old? That would be tough. Let's see, let me try. Let's say you're a 6-year-old, and I'm giving you a toy, okay? But I'm telling you, you can't play with that toy. You can just look at it, okay? Don't try to, bend it out of shape. Don't try to, play it with your other toys. All you can do is look at that toy and maybe do one or two things with it, right? That's the way the world used to work with commercial software, with proprietary software, and still does. Open source software, right, means if I give you an open source toy, you're allowed to do anything you want with that toy. You can tear it apart. You can, build more toys like it and give it to all your friends, right? You can make it do something brand new that no one else has done. So you get to have a much more, valuable toy than you used to have before. I don't know if that would make any sense to a 6-year-old, but that's how I would try, perhaps.
In the 1960s and 1970s, software programmers were passing source code back and forth between the various computer science laboratories. In the early 1980s, the communities of programmers began to break down, and many of the programmers were hired by commercial companies who sold proprietary software. Richard Stallman, a graduate student at MIT in the 1970s, was angered at the prospects of proprietary software and decided to devote himself to creating free software, free as in freedom. In 1985, Stallman created the Free Software Foundation, a tax-exempt charity to support his work and that of his collaborators. Stallman's efforts were neither the first nor the only free software development efforts, but the Free Software Foundation's efforts were probably the most extensive and the most visible. In 1997, Eric Raymond published an essay entitled The Cathedral and the Bazaar. In the essay, Raymond articulated the reasons why he believed that open source licenses that allowed anyone to freely view, modify, and distribute the source code, resulted in higher quality and less expensive software. Shortly afterward, a coalition of individuals, led by Eric Raymond and Bruce Perens, decided that the free software community needed better marketing. They formed the Open Source Initiative to A, promote the pragmatic benefits to the business community, and B, certify free and open source licenses that meet the open source definition. The political aspect of the word free was replaced by the more pragmatic term open source. At a later time, Bruce Perens wrote a letter to the community saying, "It's time to talk again about free software."